So yeah, then the police are going to just do, do all like buying the products that we sell, and from prayers to advices and all that. Like the community is always there for us, giving us hope, giving us all these encouragement to move forward. And then COVID came.
And at that time it was my 40th birthday.
Oh yeah, both of us, we don't have a future cost.
And some were
They got infected. We were like drained emotionally. Mentally as well. Yeah, like we're thinking over the time. So you got COVID, kids was like COVID, and I'm the one who doesn't have it, so I'm the one who didn't have it. That was a good experience for me. During those times, we went through really difficult things. So I did a lot of tutorials online who even know for us. By the grace of God, we found ways to survive. It was really tough. We worked for broken times. And our kids are going to school. How do you imagine?
And then even think of like, what if we just throw our service and anything?
Focus on
What isn't
but you know what? We didn't give up our service, and just use the system to use it,
do we really work great for
Well, yeah, I remember we received like
a lot of donations?
and then, you know what? John Johnson for a job, we got this opportunity to work camp. So, in the we managed through our struggles, it's not like zero, but it was like manageable. Today, we still have struggles, like being far from our kids. Also, at this moment, because, medical conditions exist in part of life. And my wife is unemployed right now. So, you know what? We have a big gap in the big and he will help in our lives. There's nothing that he wouldn't do. This struggle, current struggle that we're experiencing right now, is just going to make us share more of how wonderful God is as we witness how great God is for our lives, for how the community help us in our struggles. Now we're experiencing one again. I know that God will give you those good experiences in all of our lives for us to do this stuff. And you know what, brothers and sisters, at this moment, even though there's a lot of things in mind, we still feel this stuff. And that's it. Again, hello, brothers and sisters.
4, verse 4. Man shall not live by bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. This verse summarizes all the journey of faith, wisdom, and transformation. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm Corazon Arcano, a wife and mother of four from San Miguel, Bulacan. I have been working here in Thailand for 15 years. The pandemic time and process guided me to MFC through brother GP. I am the group of ABAC handmaids Thailand under Sister DISTORNILYADOR. My journey to MFC can be described in two meaningful words: fellowship and blessing. Fellowship because there are brothers and sisters who guide and pray for me, my personal concerns and struggle with life. The regular GA and household keep me faith in life. Our bonding through bowling, games, dancing, travels, led together for charity and spiritual purpose, made me feel I belong into the fellowship of camaraderie and faith, a family for an OFW like me. Blessings because we serve and share to others by visiting, donating, and attending to the needs of people. I am so thankful that God, our Lord, guided me into this path. As an MFC member, I learned the value of prioritizing. Noong nasasabi ko pala na hindi pa kasi ako ang MFC member, hindi ko pinapriority ang ating Panginoong Jesus. Kaya katulad po ng mga sa ating iba, magawa tayong magdadasal, nagsisimba. Pero hindi po regular kasi dahil lalo na kami pong OFW. Alam mo na kahit sa Linggo, kailangan kumita ng pera. Siyempre para sa mga mahal sa buhay at sa sarili natin pangangailangan. Nung naging MFC member po ako, nagkaroon po ako ng seryoso pagkakilala. Pagkakas na mga salita ng aking Panginoon Jesus. Nasasabi ko na siguro pinakon ng aking Panginoon ang aking puso at isipan. Nagkaroon po ako ng totoong alulala sa kanya. Nagkaroon po ako ng takot na hindi ko natakot na hindi ko rin takot na may respeto sa kanya. Pagmamahal. Dati po, dahil na ako ay music teacher, nagtuturo ako ng Sabado at Linggo. Pero yung kung seryoso na ako sa makikinig sa ating Panginoon Jesus, naisip ko, hindi ko ito pwedeng maliwalain dahil totoo na salita ng buhay. Nandutwa ako dito. Masarap po ako tayo paano hindi pa iba ang makilala ko dito sa ating Panginoon Jesus. Naiyakin po ako dahil sa nararamdaman ng mahal at binibigay ng matata. Kaya po sa mga dito at sinunod ako. Pero yung Panginoon para sa kanyang aking Panginoon, kaya aamin ko ng Diyos. Hindi pa ako nakakapag-absent sa aming GPA sa household at kung meron mga talagang napakahalaga na nag-uusapan ko sa kanya. Nakikinig po ako. Nagsisika po ako ng pagpasok ako sa school, ayun, nag-meditation ko. Alam niyo, maraming reklamo, maraming gawain, maraming duty. Instead na ako ang reklamo, dati hindi pa ako member. Ngayon kasi sabi niyo kasi kung yun sa akin, salamat tayo. Medyo pinamaaga, binibigay ako ng lakas. Instead na ako ang reklamo. Salamat po sa school, dahil itatanong mo namin salamat po sa lahat. Kaya kapag yung mga plano kami sa buhay, sabi ko sa sarili ko, hindi ko sa Pilipinas. Hindi na ako gusto ko maglingkod dahil napaka-musician, gusto ko maglingkod sa simbahan. Tapos sa mga bata, at ibagi ko sa kanilang aking lalo na sa larangan ng musika. And all of these experiences must be a center of everything. Prayers of all of us can make an incredible life not only endurable but meaningful. Thank you.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I am Director Borgo. I have been living in Thailand for 52 years now. My late husband Edwin and I joined Purpose for Christ or CFC in 1989, the same year the community was established in Bangkok. We were blessed to be part of the first Christian Life Program or CRP of 8 couples and a handmaid, and quickly became deeply involved in the community. At first, I wasn't fully engaged because I believed that being active in a Catholic charismatic group and attending masses regularly was enough. However, the teachings, the testimonies, and experiences within the CFC helped me grow spiritually. I became more prayerful and overcame my excessive shyness. And Edwin, who was once an occasional churchgoer, grew very involved in the community, attending weekly household meetings, becoming a core team leader for CRP, and leading the music ministry. Our household group of 5 couples became like a second family to us. As we worshiped and bonded together, we felt closer to one another than to our own blood relatives. Periodic reshuffling of household groups also helped us build relationships with more brothers and sisters in the community, which has been a great blessing. However, being part of this community doesn't mean we are free from trials and struggles. One of the hardest moments for our community was the split in 2007. The separation led to the birth of Couples for Christ Foundation for Family and Life, or CFCFFL, a group that still adhered to the same mission and vision of the original CFC. The split was a painful experience, but it was necessary for those of us who chose to remain faithful to our beliefs and goals, under the guidance of our servant general, Brother Frank Padilla, we continued our mission, which eventually evolved into what is now the Missionary Families of Christ, or MFC. Through the years, Edwin and I faced our own personal trials. For many years, I suffered from debilitating migraines, worsened by epilepsy, which made my daily life very difficult. I prayed to God to take away my epilepsy and led myself to bear my migraines, if that was his will. After 5 long years of fervent and earnest praying, he healed me, not only of my epilepsy, but also of my migraines. It was such a miraculous recovery that amazed even my doctors. Later, my husband became seriously ill, suffering from various health issues. The worst was the stage 4 liver cancer, which was an emotionally and financially challenging time, and our good God provided. Our community, my in-laws, friends, and even Edwin's doctor showed us incredible kindness and support. Throughout this hardship, neither Edwin nor I ever complained or blamed God. Instead, we learned to trust more and keep praying, no matter the circumstances. In 2012, after this very challenging battle with cancer, my husband passed away just before Christmas and before our wedding anniversary. Despite the pain of his loss, I found peace in knowing that we have served God faithfully together. I have since become a fruitless handmaid. And this has been both a privilege and a big challenge, as living the handmaids requires great patience and understanding of the diverse personalities in the group. In my role as a handmaid, I have become a trusted confidant from many sisters, and even those from other sections, brothers and sisters, who reach out to me for moral support. Though it can be exhausting at times, I am grateful for the trust they place in me. As a big sister, I always remind my handmaids to constantly pray and intercede for one another, for our families, and for our community. As I look back on these years, I am deeply grateful to our MFC community and for all the marvelous blessings God has given me. The verse that has always sustained me is from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." Thank you so much, MFC. And thank you so much, my dear brothers and sisters, for being my second family. Let's continue to trust in the Lord as we move forward into the next 35 years of our faith journey together. Happy anniversary to us all. And to God be all the glory, now and forever. Amen.
Missionary Families of Christ is my song. This community is my inspiration in navigating this life that is thought to be difficult, which we have to get used to. I joined the Missionary Families of Christ in 2009. That was 5 months after I arrived here in Bangkok. When I heard Titi Jerwin's announcement in a radio disc of the Annunciation Church in Wama about the CLS, I thought it was just a simple seminar intended for those who want to refresh their knowledge about God and strengthen their relationship with Him. Little did I know, it was a commitment I had to make with the Lord for a lifetime. And so fast forward today, this is my 15th year in MFC. I am constantly committing my love and service to this community for His beloved. However, life in the Missionary Families of Christ is not without tribulations. But you know what is beautiful about being here? I remain strong in the Lord because I know He is my constant life. In 15 years here, there were many times when I felt like the world was falling apart. And I'm going to share a few with you today. My first biggest heartbreak was when my younger brother couldn't push through his priesthood because he got sick of pneumonia. I worked hard and offered all my sacrifices to God for that mission of my brother to become a priest. I even joined the Marian movement of priests here in Thailand, wherein we pray for the priests and seminarians for the protection and success of their chosen vocation. Despite of all our efforts, my brother wasn't successful. At first, it hurts to realize that all our efforts went in vain, but we blamed no one. Through this community, having several opportunities to have one-on-ones with the missionaries, I learned that everything we do because of love do not go to waste. We began to accept that priesthood is not God's plan for my brother. And indeed, God's plan is much more beautiful. My brother is now happily married to the love of his life, brother, who used to be his classmate back in university. And they have one son, my adorable nephew, Gio. And what is also beautiful about it, they just joined a community just like ours and are actively serving in the Taburi area where I used to live. Just when I thought I am completely over what happened to my brother, pain resurfaced, and I found myself disoriented. I didn't know how to manage myself and my finances. So I joined a Ponzi scheme called Global Intergold, expecting that it could bring back all my losses quickly. But for the first time of my life, I got scammed big time. My life hit rock bottom and looked up to God, wanting to pray. But I couldn't put my prayers into words. I just cried and felt so helpless to the point of wishing that a big car would just hit me and kill me on the spot. Then one day, a broken glass door almost fell on me, aiming at my neck right here. And that was my wake-up call and my breakthrough. I realized I didn't actually want to die. I found my way back home to God when I was actually faced with death. Also, the community was always there, lending their ears to me when I needed someone to share my stories with. When they noticed that I wasn't doing well, they continuously checked on me. I know one thing that would help me, and that was to never stop attending our community events and teachings, because I believe those are opportunities for me to get His message. After that phase of my life, I moved on. I was enjoying my life, having a renewed spirit in the Lord. I was able to fulfill my dream to take my family on vacation around the Philippines. We went to Cebu, we went to Bohol and Baguio. I felt so blessed. Then suddenly, My younger brother got involved in a vehicular accident that almost cost him his life. That time, he only had vehicle insurance. It wasn't enough to pay all the hospital bills. And for the first time in my life, I had to post in Facebook to ask for financial help for my brother. It was actually against my will because I am used to be the one helping most of the time. But this time, I am the one asking for help. A lot of help came from in and out of the community, and I just tremendously felt God's providence for us. That experience taught me to be humble and even more generous, to pay forward God's goodness to me through the many people who helped us in that ordeal. Lastly, while I was still mending my broken heart from a failed relationship, it was worse, I would say, because the culprit was my very own sister. My sister got addicted into online sabong, and when all her funds were consumed by this addiction, she withdrew the money I entrusted to her, which we are supposed to use to fund the para-fadala business that I'm doing here. I did notice that I was gradually losing funds until one day something told me, and I know it was the Holy Spirit, to liquidate my own bank account, which ATM is held by my sister. I got the biggest shock of my life when I eventually saw in the CCTV footage that my sister actually did it with an accomplice. I was depressed again, and it lasted for 2 years. Despite this blow, I think I know that I was better at coping this time because I learned already in the past. I continue with my service in the community, but I know I could have done better if I was completely fine. Until the new year of 2024, this year, God revived me. He gave me new members of my household who needed a community that will help them serve their purpose better. I was pressured yet motivated to do my role as a household servant better. And for the first time in 15 years in the community, I found myself crying in my prayers when household meetings are canceled due to conflict of schedules. I find it awkward crying over canceled household meetings. And then the community sent me to the Philippines for the Fixed on Jesus MFC Singles Worldwide Conference. God talked to me throughout the conference about my service, that I should never feel disheartened, that I should keep going with my service. I remember when Tito Frank said in our Unchanging God conference this year last May, just do your work. Just do your work as a servant of God. Do not be in despair when only a small number respond to your invitation. Jesus will do the work among the people he served. And he truly did. When I look at God, I see forgiveness for all the phases in my life that I was distant from him. I see the truth, that he loves me for what I am, and that he can use me for his greater glory. And there is nothing I can give back to him as a form of thanksgiving for all the blessings that I regularly receive from him, but only my response of service through this missionary families of Christ community, demonstrating our faith to him through the many yeses to works of evangelization and sharing blessings to our brothers and sisters in Christ. For all of this, may God be praised, and so I will sing him endless praises.
I am the daughter of Thor and Olivia, and I have an older brother named Gib, and I am from the MFC section. So today I'm going to share my life experiences on how I overcame the challenges with the help of God and our community. So this year my family has struggled with it. And for those who don't know, my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer this year. And finding out about my dad's cancer, it was a shock to me and my whole family. We couldn't believe it, or more like we didn't want to believe it. Because we were living such a normal life, and then suddenly everything changed. So now it has been 8 months knowing about my dad's cancer. And during those 8 months, we've been going in and out of the hospital. I think in total we went to 5 hospitals. We've been looking for the best hospital that could give him the best treatment and for it to be affordable because it's very expensive. But my dad at first said he didn't want to take any medication. He said he only wanted to wait and pray for God to heal him. And as a daughter, hearing your dad say that, I was mad and I disagreed with him, knowing his condition. So at that time, my mom was the only one working and my brother was in university. So I was mostly the one taking care of him at home. But after a lot of encouraging and I think unbearable pain in his stomach due to his tumor, we finally agreed to go to the hospital. And while at the hospital, he was crying a lot in the hospital bed. And as a daughter, seeing your dad cry was very painful to watch, as you know. And for me, as a 19-year-old daughter, I didn't really know how to help. All I could do was help them at home doing chores, or emotionally help them, or I would emotionally help calm my parents whenever they're crying at home. And I couldn't even help them financially, so it was a struggle every day for us. And because of the checkups and medication, one medication can cost up to $61,000 per month. And our finances was already drained from visiting other hospitals. So the latest struggle of my family is to where we can get this 61,000 baht so we could pay for the medicine for my dad's chemo. But because of the love and support from our brothers and sisters in the community, a fundraising event was held during our General Assembly to support our family. So I would like to say thank you so much about my family, about my dad. I didn't know a lot of people would support us this much. And at first I was thinking, what would we do to deserve all this love and support? So I would like to say thank you very much for supporting us. And we actually raised more than enough to cover a month's medical expenses for my dad. So in my life situation now, each day is still a challenge. Each day is still a struggle for us. But with the help and support of you, my brothers and sisters, in the youth in the youth section, I could still find reasons to smile, and I could still find reasons to be hopeful. Attending household meetings, community assemblies, and teaching helps me to somehow accept our current situation. I don't know how long this will take, but I know with all of you by my side, we can get through this challenges. With the promise of God that He will never abandon us. So I will remain faithful and will praise Him endlessly. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for this opportunity to share tonight. And I'd like to say again, thank you so much for the love and support for my family. And happy 35th anniversary, everyone.
Wow! Yun lang. Wow, what an inspiring stories that we listen a while ago sa ating mga brothers and sisters. O, di ba hindi pa tapos yung kasama ko sa pag-iyak?
I'm teary-eyed. All those stories really are incredible, and we all know how God is faithful in their lives and in our lives.
Tama.
Nakakaiyak.
Ay, nakakaiyak.
Of course, I think we need to thank everyone who really shared because it's very difficult to share, and I think that's one important part of MFC. We try to share something about our lives, and then slowly we learn about something about everyone, and then we become family.
Correct.
Right?
And I realize as well what they say about you don't know one story, so we should always be kind.
Totoo yun. Tsaka yung mga songs din is nag-reflect siya sa mga stories ng ating mga sharers. So, kaya pa. Payak na ako dun pero pinigilan ko kasi magsasalita pa ako. So, my brothers and sisters, hindi pa po tayo tapos. Okay.
So we'd like to give a virtual hug and later a hug to all those who share their stories. Talagang inspiring. And talagang nakaka-move personally sa Sharing Me FM. Kasi I lost my father a year ago. And ito ay talaga FM for you. I'd like to say God is giving you this miracle. That miracle is that time na binigyan ka ni God ng enough time pa with your father to show Him your love. Kasi ako hindi ako nabigyan ng miracle.
I can give you share dito.
I think what really speaks, what the message that really left in me really is speaking.
Correct.
Speaking.
Tama.
Sister Dora, Sister Bioli.
Lahat ng stories nila actually.
Speaking. And really, whatever the circumstances, great.
Correct. And also, itong community natin na MFC, isa itong gift. Kasi lahat sila nandito sa MFC at dito sila humuhugot. Through our brothers and sisters. Kasi lahat tayo nag-pray for them.
I can attest to that. Kasi
Correct.
when I lost my father, I have no one here in Thailand. And you know, I will still remember, and I'd like to thank again Jeremy. Siya talaga yung naghanap sa akin, am I okay, and comforted me. Kasi hindi ako agad nakauwi ng Pilipinas noon.
Tama.
So, thank you din sa community kasi they also gave something for, you know, the interment. Maraming salamat.
Yes, I completely agree on that thing. So nakakatuwang malaman on how much we have grown as a whole with the help of this community.
Yeah, speaking of growth, as a missionary, but God continue blessing the community so that every one of us is still equipped so that we can persevere and overcome all of these challenges so that we can continue with our mission.
Indeed,
Is that correct? Yeah?
God is faithful. So, to recap all the victories and challenges we overcame as one community, the missionary families of Christ, let us all welcome Tito Jerwin!
Okay, so I was asked to take you down memory lane from Genesis up to from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Okay, about the journey of our community over the years. starting, I prepared like a short PowerPoint presentation here, and I'll try to do this very fast for the entire community. I just want to thank everyone who have helped me to put together and remembered all the dates, the significant dates. Of course, there's so much more milestones that we have encountered over the years, but I just couldn't put it all together in this presentation. So please allow me to trace back our community beginning in 1981. In June 1981, when Couples for Christ started as a transparochial community, not integrated in the life of the church, under the umbrella of another charismatic group called Ligaya ng Panginoon. And if there is one person in this room who have actually began when when Couples for Christ was still under Ligaya ng Panginoon, I think it's Sister Bing. Sister Bing Santos. Anyway, next slide, please. So, for everyone's information, the first Couples for Christ chapter outside Manila was established in Bukidnon, believe it or not, in 1984. And a year later, in 1985, the first Couples for Christ chapter outside the Philippines was established in India. Okay, next slide, please. Now, who is this family? Well, who? The first CFC chapter, as I said, was outside Metro Manila, was in Bukidnon, but a year later, it was established in India. Now, in 1989, CFC started here in Thailand, and it was actually started by this family here, an Australian and a Filipina couple, and they're named Chris and the late Sister Chet Packworth. They started with the first Christian Life program at their homes with their children as part of the service team, followed by 3 other Christian Life programs in Savior Hall, in Victory Monument, at the Mater Dei School in Chidlong, and a series of CLPs at St. Louis Hospital Nursing School. There were 17 individuals who started the community here. Next, please. Now, in 1996, CFC was approved by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines under Bishop Oscar Cruz as a national private association of lay faithful, recognized in 2000 by the Vatican as a private international association of lay faithful of pontifical right. Next slide, please. Yes, in recognition of this, the social dimension of the gospel, CFC in 2000 defined bringing glad tidings to the poor in its statement of mission. And during this year, the Holy See's Dicastery for Laity, Family and Life recognized our community as a private international association of lay faithful. Now that recognition was permanently installed 19 years ago in April 2005. That official and permanent recognition from the Vatican. Next slide, please. Now, 28th of July 2003, one of the greatest blessings of our community, Gawad Kalinga, was formally established in the Philippines, and our community in Thailand here, through what we call the padugo, or the bloodletting in English, was able to raise funds by household level to successfully establish the Thai GK village, which is composed of about 25 houses. A handful of members even visited the Gawad Kalinga village, the Thai village, in December of 2005. The Thai village is actually located in Novaliches. Okay? And here's one priceless photo wherein you'll find Brother Romel along with the young Luigi and Bianca. painting the exterior of the houses. Next slide, please. Wow, that's Pastor Valdez and Rosel Nalva. Because on the 30th of April 2004 was a big day for our community when we partnered with the Philippine Embassy and held a fundraising concert which highlighted these two extraordinary artists along with that dancer, Miss Para Isidro. No, she's now in Australia. And all proceeds from the event were used to construct a Catholic church and activity center in Panchat, Konken province. So our community actually helped construct a church here in Thailand in Konken province. By the way, the concert took place at the Thai Cultural Center. Now, on All Saints Day, November 1st, 2021, the first seeds were planted here in Chonburi when we started the Christian Life program. It was headed by two couples with a handful of service team members from Bangkok. Michael and Joey Del Prado, that you see at the lower left side of the screen, are now based in Pennsylvania, USA. And of course, the other couple is none other than the Max, no? Brother Romel and Sister Maris, who still travel to Pattaya consistently every week. Now, a couple of years later, we organized another concert, actually. And this concert, we partnered with the Philippine Ladies Group in Bangkok. Special shout out to Sister Daisy Mendiola, who just finished her CLS a couple of weeks ago. Sister Daisy was very instrumental in bringing our main artist during that time, her good friend and the timeless diva, Dulce. And this concert was held at the Queen's Park Hotel Ballroom and also featured some Filipino performers based here in Thailand. All proceeds from that concert went to the GK Foundation. Now, in October 2005, Pope John Paul II appointed Brother Frank Padilla, our Servant General, and Sister Jerry as members of the Vatican's Pontifical Council for the Laity. And on the same year, our Servant General was also bestowed the Pontifical Order of Pope Saint Sylvester, some sort of a knighthood from the Pope. Okay, so next slide, please. In April 2007, we held our final big conference as one complete CFC here in Thailand, which is a bit ironic since that weekend was dubbed as the Hope Weekend, which took place at the Asian Institute of Technology at AIT. And this will be our theme, 2025, Hope Abounds. And it's also the theme of our church's Jubilee next year. Next slide, please. Now, in April 8, 2007, as what Sister Viola has mentioned a while ago, the painful split between CFC Global, Gawad Kalinga, and CFC FFL has taken place. Next slide, please. Now, here in Thailand, this group here, we have decided to become a part of CFC FFL, the Couples for Christ Foundation for Family and Life, which was officially separated from CFC GK on the 1st of August 2007, when Bishop Gabi Reyes, the Bishop of Antipolo, officially recognized CFC FFL as a private association of the faithful in his diocese. It was this time that we moved to become a servant to the church. Next slide, please. Sadly, there were bishops in other countries who refused to recognize two CFCs. Therefore, in Australia and the United Arab Emirates, CFC-FFL was called Catholics for Family and Life. In Canada and Papua New Guinea, we were called Community for Christ Foundation for Family and Life. In Singapore, we are Christ for Family and Life. And here in Thailand, we used to call ourselves Christ Foundation for Life. Next slide, please. October 2007, the late brother Ed Montigo and his wife, Sister Marichu, were named as the first country servants of CFC FFL Thailand. That was, and on the 31st of May 2008, the first Indochina Regional Conference, which we call Joy Conference, has taken place in Ban Siri Hotel in Bangkok. Now, October 2009, His Holiness Pope Benedict XVI has reappointed our Servant General Frank Padilla and his wife, Sister Jerry, as members of the Pontifical Council for the Family. No? And then, here's another memorable gathering event that our community has organized in September 2010 when we had a pro-life seminar at the Assumption University in Walmart with the executive director of the biggest pro-life organization in the world, which was attended by its executive director, Dr. Brian Klaus, and his wife, Kathleen. Next slide, please. March 2011, we spearheaded a charity dance and dinner at the Conrad Hotel for the benefit of the Holy Redeemer Multi-Function Hall. If you go to Rock Ruby Church, if you see that beautiful building at the back, our community has taken part in soliciting funds for that. So we have actually organized this function. So we were able to obtain sponsorship from such big names as there's Bangkok Bank, San Miguel Beer, PepsiCo, and even Krispy Kreme, which just opened its first branch in Thailand during that time. Now, headed by Brother Kai Wongla, we also organized another fundraising event for the orphans of Father Way Foundation here in Pattaya on the 13th of February. This has taken place in Windsor Park and Golf Club in Minpuri. And then one of the biggest events of our community is our 25th year anniversary back in 2014. It's a milestone when we celebrated Pilak Namumulaklak Filipiniana Ball. Some of you were able to attend that. Actually, many of us, I think, in this room, which took place at the Holiday Inn Sukhumvit. I don't know if you still have that beautiful pendant, silver pendant. Anyway, October 2015, another partnership with Human Life International took place. It's called The Silent Screams with Dr. Nigaya Acosta and Dr. Brian Close. And it took place at the Redemptorist Function Hall. You know, the newly built Redemptorist Function Hall in Ponchit. Now, to avoid perpetuating and institutionalizing the scandal of the CFC split, CFC FFL deserved to change its name officially to Missionary Families of Christ, effective 6 years ago. That's in October 7, 2019. And moreover, the main Couples for Christ, according to our Servant General, was right from the beginning, as we indeed reached out to couples for 12 years before starting the family ministries. But we have outgrown this, reflective of our identity and mission. Next slide. this is one of our first gathering as MFC, no? Here in Thailand. Next slide, please. Now, on October 2019, we have reached another milestone when we celebrated our 30th year anniversary in Thailand. We had a grand anniversary celebration called Home, which took place in Bangkok at the Easting Hotel. And this is a photo of ours with our big smiles on our faces. Next slide, please. Now, in the year 2002, the COVID pandemic was spreading fast, in the early part of that year. However, our community was still able to hold a memorable Lenten retreat with none other than Father Day Concepcion. And this was in February 2020. Now, when the pandemic struck a few weeks after our anniversary, it did not stop us from doing our activities. From 2020 to 2022, during COVID, online household meetings, GAs, conferences, teachings continued. And these are just some photos of ours, when we have had those activities online. Next slide, please. Now, when we resumed face-to-face meetings in August 2022, we were so excited to come together as one big family. And the first major gathering we had was a Christmas party. No, it's Amazing Race. We spent overnight at Cedar Resort and had fun like little children, as God's little children. And of course, there's also a lot of memorable moments during that time. It took place on the 3rd and 4th of December, December 2022. Now, for some years now, who we are and what we are called to do has been very clear. Our vision is evangelization, founded on family renewal, and we focus on the two most important aspects of the life of Christians in this world. That is family and mission. We are families on mission. And that is a photo of our group when we have had our most recent Congress in Ayutthaya province. So remember when we had to turn on the flashlights of our telephones? Now, it's almost finished, but before we do that, next slide, please. I would just like us to pause for a little bit and remember our brothers and sisters who have gone before us. Those who have touched our lives one way or another over the years since we have become first CFC FFL here in Thailand. And there are Sister Leia, Brother Pepito, Brother Edwin Ong, Sister Jonah, Brother Press, and Sister Cleo Kohonta, Lola Rustica, and Sister Dailene. Next slide, please. At the same time today, I also would like to honor our dear brothers and sisters who have transitioned from one ministry to another. As a matter of fact, there are more. There are a lot who have transitioned from kids to youth and from youth to singles. But these are the very first ones who have transitioned. On the left, on the right side, it's Carl and Kat Fanega. They're the first to transition from youth to singles. Okay? And the four couples that you see, they used to be members of the singles ministry, and they got married, as GGs, God's gift. And here they are. And they are with us today. You all know them, right? And next slide, please. Now, as you have heard at the beginning, there were 17 people who started this community in 1989. But today, I also would like to especially thank the one who have decided to stay with our community, the one who continue to empower many of us, the ever loving, ever interceding, ever charitable, and ever motherly Sister Violi Ong. So, there you go, brothers and sisters. Walk down memory lane. And as you all know, as you might have noticed, it's not a straight and a smooth path. There were a lot of bumps along the way. Actually, there are more that I could have mentioned, but I just focused on those that we were able to remember. But brothers and sisters, judging from what has taken place today, looking at those people, the young people who have transitioned from one section to another, I really feel and believe that our community's future is very bright. It's in the very good hands of the Lord. And just like I think our theme for next year, I think it's very appropriate as we prepare for that next year. Hope truly abounds at in the missionary families of Christ, Thailand. And to end this presentation, let us now listen to all the songs that reminded us how constant and great our God is throughout those years. We are
Today
Lord,